Hey y'all, this is Helen Honey, and we're back with another video today. So, today we'll be talking about the waiting is the illusion. When we talk about the waiting being the illusion, the feeling like you have to have everything together, the perfectionist. This month would make a year that I've been on YouTube, speaking on YouTube with my face in the camera. Also, my birthday was last Wednesday. So it's a whole full circle going on that I'm realizing. And when I first started my YouTube channel, I felt like a lot of the videos I made, I was still breaking down barriers of myself. I was still coming into the true alignment of myself and my true power and fully standing in my power and my knowingness. So last January, when I was making videos, I felt like I had to be perfect. I had to speak perfect. I felt like I had to look perfect. I felt like I had to dim my light. I felt like I had to restrict myself on different levels. So I went from feeling like I had to be in a box to breaking that box down and being free, being me. So this last year have showed me that if you want to grow, you have to do something different. If you want to get from point A to point B, you have to do something different. So I had to allow myself to take my mask off. I had to allow myself to be my true self with no judgment. Coming from an environment, growing up with judgment every day, I felt like I had to be perfect every day. So I showed up to YouTube feeling like I had to be perfect. Feeling like I had to cover my flaws. Feeling like I had to hide myself and my true self. So over this past year, I have learned that I don't have to restrict myself. I don't have to limit myself. I don't have to put myself into society boxes or boxes I have made for myself, because sometimes we make boxes for ourselves. Sometimes we run with what people say we are or the things that we're told, and we put ourselves in these boxes, these mental boxes, these mental cages. So I decided, over the course of me making these videos, I decided to break all that down. I decided I'm no longer caring what others think. I'm no longer feeling like I have to hide myself. I've been hiding myself my whole life. It's time for me to be seen. It's time for my voice to be heard. At a young age, I felt like I got my voice tucking away from me. I felt like what I had to say was not important. I felt like if I wasn't saying or doing what other people wanted me to do, it didn't matter. It wasn't important. And I had to realize that my voice is very important. My voice holds power. So within me making these YouTube videos, I have transformed from the inside out. I had to stop feeling like I had to be perfect. I had to stop feeling like I had to wait. I had to stop feeling like I had to have my shit together totally. I had to stop feeling like I had to put on a show or a picture for somebody else. Someone else that don't know me, someone else that may judge, because people is going to judge you regardless of what you're doing. So Once I realized that the waiting is the illusion, you feeling like you have to wait. The only thing that you're truly waiting for is yourself. And that's what I've been realizing. I've been realizing that the waiting is me waiting for myself, because no one else is coming. No one else is coming to save me. No one else is going to show up for me how I show up for me. We have to realize that the promises that we keep to ourselves are important. How we show up for ourselves is important. So I had to start realizing that it's no one that's holding me back but me. Once you start realizing that no one is holding you back but you start to move differently, because you start to take accountability for your actions. You start to take accountability for the way that you think. It is your responsibility on how you think. It is your responsibility on how your life is. Once you take accountability and you start realizing that you have more power than what you've been feeling you have, or the credit that you give yourself, because we don't give ourselves credit. We can reach a goal and then move on to the next goal and not even pat ourselves on the back. We don't even take a moment to say, damn, I did that. Damn, I'm proud of myself. Damn, I feel good. When was the last time that you told yourself, I'm proud of you? When was the last time that you told yourself you did a good job? When was the last time you just sat and realized, I did that? Regardless if you posted it on social media or it's something that you kept behind closed doors, you reached that goal, whether it was internally or externally. We got to realize that when we show up for ourselves and we keep our word to ourselves, that's a part of building self-esteem. Self-esteem is supposed to be built as we grow up, but depending on your environment, you may not get that type of love. You may not get that type of confidence that a child needs, that is growing up to this person, that is growing up to be an adult. You may not get that type of unconditional love. Unconditional love is important, because when you have unconditional love for yourself, you're going to show up for yourself. You're going to trust yourself. You're going to value yourself. You're going to put yourself first. We talk about people being selfish, but if you don't put yourself first, how can you help others? If you don't make sure you're good, how can you help others? If your mental state is not together, how can you help others? We have to realize that being selfish just means that you care about yourself. Being selfish just means that you love yourself. And it's not about you not wanting to give to others. It's not about you not wanting to show up for others. But you got to do that for yourself first. And I had to realize that. I used to be a yes girl, never telling people I love no. I remember always being there for others, emotionally, spiritually, physically, always showing up. Because when I love someone, when I care about someone, I am loyal to them. So I'm going to show up. And sometimes we have to realize that the most important person to be loyal to is yourself. If you're not loyal to yourself, how can you show up for other people? How can you be there for other people? You have to be loyal to yourself. And I had to realize that if I truly trust myself, if I truly love myself, I'm going to stop feeling like I have to have everything together. I'm going to stop feeling like I'm not ready. I'm going to stop feeling like something's missing. Do you feel like something's missing? Do you feel like you're waiting on something? Because I had to realize I'm who I've been waiting on. The person on the other side of the door is me. The person with the key is me. It's been me. I had to realize that. I had the key the whole time. I had to realize that I have the ability to have the key, open the door, and go through the door. And the other aspects of me, the past versions of me, has got me here. But I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for something greater. I'm ready for something beyond what I can even fathom. So I had to realize, what you waiting on? What are you waiting on? You're waiting on yourself. You're waiting on to get out of your mind and get into your knowing. Because once you get out of your mind, you see clearly. You cannot see clearly if you have all these thoughts. You cannot see clearly if you're overthinking. You cannot see clearly if you do not trust yourself. You cannot see clearly if you do not feel like you can do it. Everything starts with, how do you feel about yourself? How you show up for yourself will tell you how you feel about yourself. The promises will show you everything. And I had to realize, me pouring into myself is a form of self-love. Me valuing myself is a form of self-love. Me going after my dreams and desires is a form of self-love. Everything go back to self-love. It is nothing outside of self-love. If you had to ask me, what is the key of life? I would say self-love. Because when you love yourself, you're not going to accept certain things or allow certain things from yourself or from others. Not to say you're not going to make mistakes. Not to say that you have to be perfect. But you put yourself at a certain level. You put yourself at a certain standard to know that if I say I want love from the world, from my partner, I have to give myself that same love. I have to value myself. If I want to be valued in the world, if I want other people to value me, I have to value myself first. It's not the opposite. It's in and then out. We work from the inside out. It's not happening to you. You're causing it to happen. The cause and the effects. We have to remember that with life comes obstacles, come tests. But through everything that we go through, we have all the answers. We have all the answers. And it's going to be people in your life that come in and out of your life that is meant to teach you something. That is meant for you to be able to see something from a different perspective. Not to point the finger, not to feel bad, not to feel like a victim, but to gain some type of experience, to gain some type of wisdom. When I first made this YouTube channel, I used to care about what people was going to say, what people was going to think, if people was going to judge me. I cared about all of that. And I had to realize other people's opinions does not matter. My self-worth comes from the inside. I cannot depend on the external to make me feel like I have worthiness, because my worthiness comes from the inside. Once I started to realize that, I started to break free. I started to break free because we have to realize you can be your own prisoner. You can be your own jailer. You can put yourself into prison. You can tie your own hands up. You can blindfold your own eyes. You can cover your own ears. You have to realize that with life, it's all about the journey. It's all about your journey. Your journey is very unique. And it's not going to look like everybody else. But that's what makes you different. We're not supposed to be like everybody else. I don't want to be like the next person. I want to be different. We may have the similarities, but I want to be like myself because nobody else. We may share the same blood, but no one else has my exact DNA. No one else has my exact blueprint. So I had to start realizing that my journey is very specific to me. And I had to realize that if I'm truly living in my purpose, if I'm truly living in my life, in my light, I have to come out of hiding. So the other day, y'all, I had a dream. And in my dream, it was a goddess that I watched at the beginning of my spiritual journey. And she's the reason why I started shadow work. And if you don't know what shadow work is, it's you facing all the ugly, bad parts about yourself. The things that you hide from the world, the things that you don't talk about, your childhood trauma. So once I started watching her YouTube channel 6-7 years ago, Country Queen on YouTube, she's amazing. I started watching her YouTube channel and I started doing shadow work. So yesterday I had a dream and it was a war going on in the dream. I wasn't fighting a war though. I wasn't fighting a war. I was trying to dodge bullets. I was dodging bullets because they were shooting. So I was dodging bullets. And she appeared. And when she appeared, she grabbed my hand and said, "It's time to stop hiding. It's time to fully come into the light." See, when you go on your healing journey, it's a period of time where you're in the darkness. And when I say you're in the darkness, you're dealing with all the things you don't want to face. You're dealing with your demons because we all have demons. The things you don't want to talk about, they turn into demons. The anger turns into demons. The resentment turns into demons. Just because a certain word got labeled a demon, as in something being bad, maybe it's more to that word. Maybe it's more I can learn from that word. Because if you suppress something as a child and later on it turns into anger, what do you think that is? It is a form of an emotion, but in reality, it is just another part of yourself that is calling out to you, that wants to be acknowledged, that wants to be healed, that wants to be filled. What you do not heal will eventually come up. We can suppress it with alcohol. We can suppress it with drugs. We can suppress it with food. We can suppress it with sex. We can suppress it with TV. We can suppress it with going to the club every weekend. We can suppress it with all these things. But in reality, at the end of the day, it's going to resurface. Or you're going to feel it in your body. Through pain, through illness, through sickness. All these things are showing you is something that you need to acknowledge. It is something that you need to attune with within yourself. It's about you turning into yourself. It is about you seeing that, okay, I know I've been through some things, but because I'm an adult, it's up to me to heal that. It's not my parents' responsibility. It's not this being in the sky responsibility. It is not society responsibility. It is your responsibility. And once I realized I'm no longer waiting, everything started to switch on. Everything started to make sense. Clarity came. because I stopped being a victim. I stopped feeling like I had no way out. I stopped feeling like I had no answers because I have all the answers. I may have to do some digging. I may have to do some soul searching. But the answers are within me. When you close your eyes, what do you see? What do you hear? How do you feel? How do you feel within your body? Do you feel safe or do you feel fear? Are you scared of your own self? Are you scared of your own power? I got tired of being scared of my own power. I got tired of feeling like you're holding back. For a long time, I've been feeling like I've been holding back, and I'm no longer doing that. I'm no longer holding back. What I'm holding back for? To make others feel comfortable? To make others feel good? No longer doing that. So today, you have a choice. You have a choice if you're going to continue to remain the same and be comfortable, because being comfortable have everything to do with the ego. Your ego wants you to be comfortable. Your ego wants you to feel safe. But you have to talk to yourself and let yourself know, I'm safe. I am protected. I trust myself. I know that myself is guiding me. I know that everything is working out. I believe in my spirit. I believe in myself. I know that my soul have a contract and my soul is going to get to that finish line. So within me making these videos, I feel I have expanded. And now it's time for me. It's time for us to come out of the darkness and come into the light. Come into the light, because I am known to bring light to darkness. I am known to go to the darkness and bring the light, to find the light, because the light has been there the whole time. But through life, we forget about that. We forget, through all the sadness, through all the anger, through all the resentment, it is light. It's always light. All light is the opposite of darkness. But we come from darkness. The womb is dark. The universe is dark. A plant in the soil is dark. So darkness is not a bad thing. Just because something's dark doesn't make it bad. It is just another angle of light. It is just another spectrum of light. So when we realize that after we've been in the dark for so long, after we've been suppressing for so long, after we've been dealing with different depressions, anxieties for so long, it's okay to come up for some air. It's okay to come to light. It's okay to show yourself. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to come out of hiding. When I first got this neck tattoo, I don't know if y'all can see. When I first got this neck tattoo, it's a butterfly. I told myself, when I get this on me, I'm going to start speaking my truth. Because at a young age, I felt like my truth, my voice got taken away. And I had to realize, baby, you can't take nothing from me. You can't take anything from me that was given to me naturally. Just like my self-worth. Self-worth is not something that you have to work for. It is not something that you have to earn. It is something that you have naturally, because you are a part of source. You are a part of the cosmos. And just how the cosmos look dark but have stars, when you see that darkness, it's always a way to light. The light is always near darkness. So remember, when you feel like it's no way out, you have to dig to reach the light. You have to dig within yourself to reach the light. You have to look within yourself to reach the light. Not an outside light, but a light that's on the inside. That is underneath all the dirt. That is underneath all of the weeds. The light that you have. The light that you was born with. Don't let others dim your light. Because I've been there. I've done that. And I'm not doing it anymore. So with me talking on this YouTube channel for almost a year, will be a year this month, for almost a year, I have expanded. We are expanding together because this is a team effort. And we're going to be doing different things on this YouTube channel. As I grow and evolve and consciousness grows and evolves, I'm going to be doing different things on this YouTube channel. And I'm going to be listening to my heart more. So within me listening to my heart more, you may see different things that you've never seen me do before. You may see me do different things that I've been having on the inside of me for a long time that I'm starting to express. So if you here for the ride, baby, hold on. Hold on if you're here for the ride, because this is a journey. It is a self journey. I made this YouTube channel to express myself, to share my experiences, to help others. But at the end of the day, this is your journey. This is your journey. So within this being your journey, you got to remember, you know the answers. You have the answers. The waiting is the illusion. It's people that's been waiting for someone to come to save them, and no one has came. No one is coming. What if the person, the thing that you're waiting on is yourself? You've been thinking your whole life that it was something else, that it was somebody else. But when you open that door, or when you close your eyes, you see you. You also see you being the person that judge yourself, that criticize yourself, that shrink yourself, that dim your own light. Sometimes we be our worst critics. Sometimes we be the one to suppress ourselves. But we're no longer doing that. We're no longer shrinking. We're no longer dimming. We're no longer doing any of that. We're pouring into ourselves. We're loving on ourselves. And not just our physical selves, but our internal. Because our true selves know that beauty comes from the inside, then the outside. All the beautiful things you see in the world is just a reflection of you. That beautiful flower is you. That beautiful person that you think is so perfect is a reflection of you. So once we start realizing the things that we feel are flaws are illusions, because it's no such thing as perfection. And when us realizing that, we also realize that if it's no such thing as perfection, what I'm waiting on? What am I waiting on? Stop waiting, because you're not waiting on anyone but yourself. You're waiting on you to get you. You're waiting on you to get out the way. It's time for you to get out your own way, because you have been holding yourself back. And I had to tell myself that. I had to be honest with myself. We have to have honest conversations with ourselves. Because if you ask me, the only true person that you have to answer to is yourself. So start having these conversations with yourself and be real with yourself and see how you feel. See how your heart feels. I love y'all. I thank y'all. Until next time, Healing Honey, peace.